So you gonna take 40% of my paycheck in taxes? Most definitely. And then after you tax my check, you gonna tax me on anything I spend with the money left from my check that you already taxed. Oh, you getting it now? You this close. You this close to getting ready to chase the American dream. So let me get this shit straight. Bitch, you gonna tax my whole check. Give me what's left. Then I'm gonna spend that on something. And you're gonna tax me again for spending money that was already taxed. And after I buy something, I have to pay taxes on that. Or else you're gonna take it from me because I didn't pay taxes. Yes, and if you do that real hard and just pull up on your bootstraps with all your might, you will make it in this country. Bro, that sounds like some fucking bullshit. If I gotta pay taxes on anything that exists forever, anytime, always, every day, or else I fucking get my shit took or go to prison, do I own anything? No, y'all don't own shit. It's just a big lending system. We own everything and we just sell you the illusion that you got something. You don't have shit. Miss a tax payment, I'm taking that shit. Miss another one, I'm taking your fucking life. You're going to prison. Don't like it? Leave. Bruh.
I'm not paying taxes in 2024.
I have seen a lot of videos like this and I absolutely love them. It's typically about our taxes and the student loans. And quite a while ago, I saw a creator on here say, realistically, if we were all to stop paying our taxes, if we were all to stop paying our student loans, all of the banks across America would essentially fall. And even if it was just like, maybe like 4 million of us, right? Like there are enough of us that could actively crash the banking system here in America. And it's honestly just about getting on one accord, right? Because if we all don't pay our taxes, they can't come all after us all at once. It's just impossible. They can't go after the IRS doesn't have the budget to go after a whole bunch of people, like 3 million plus people who don't pay their taxes. They don't have the funding to do that anyway, right? Our government isn't funding them anyway. And the same thing with the banks for student loans. They wouldn't have enough money or resources to go after all of the people who've decided not to pay back their loans. So I'm just saying, like, spread the word. Yeah. Spread the word. Spread the word. We ain't paying.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk America. It is your host, Reggie, back again to talk shit. Now, I wanted to start the video with 2 TikToks. These 2 TikToks kind of similar, basically talking about how Americans are getting fucked over with taxes, right? Like in the first TikTok, it was just basically like that creator, I think his name is Farad DB. Basically, the animator recreated the video and animated the video. The point is, taxes is a scam. And in that TikTok, it just basically just goes over like, damn, when we think about it, like we're really taxed on everything. And it's like we're getting fucked over because like we're getting taxed on everything, and where is that money going? And in the second video I want to talk about is something I've been thinking about for a while. Like the creator was talking about how we really just need to go on a tax strike, because not only is our government playing in our face with our tax dollars, they're using it for some of the most evil things, bro, and Americans need to stand up. But really what she was talking about was the whole student loan shit, which is insane because we're taxed on everything and we're still having to pay, a lot of these students still having to pay student loans. Meanwhile, in Israel, a country where almost all our tax dollars goes to, they don't have to worry about healthcare or education. But our own citizens have to struggle to pay for health in loans, in student loans. It's insane. And that's why when I had to showcase that video, because that is exactly what we really need to be discussing and planning on and start talking about enacting strikes. And it's crazy to see because this is something I've been thinking about for like the last couple months, of how do we get direct change without burning stuff down, without having people die. Because I'm at that point where we're going to need immediate and direct action change. Like we're going to do action, but that action doesn't have to be violent. It always does. Like we don't have to lose people in the process, because I went through I want to burn the whole country down. We have to do it by violence. Like the more I'm learning, it's like I won't say violence is not necessary, because it is necessary, but how that violence is enacted. Like just because violence isn't always people dying, people shooting, people burning stuff down. It's more so about action. Can we enact action? And this tax strike is something that more Americans need to start talking about, because like lately we've been seeing our government use our own tax dollars towards bullshit. It's going towards like military contractors, it's going towards fucking levitating jets, fucking nukes, Israel and their defense system. So it's just like, where is our tax dollars going, bro? It's not going towards anything productive towards Americans. Healthcare, infrastructure, jobs, education. It's going towards Israel so they can keep bombing kids. It's going towards these military contracts like Lockheed Martin and shit so they can build the next bomb. Like, what the fuck are we doing, America? Like I've been saying, America is a business, bro. It's so much of a business. It's using its own citizens to fund their business, because we have to realize that Americans are some of the most taxed citizens in the world. So you would think, damn, we're getting taxed on everything: sales tax, property tax, income tax. We're taxed on everything, and that same tax that we're taxed on is going towards kids getting bombed. And you expect, like I said in the last couple of days, you expect Americans to be cool with that? Our government is publicly disrespecting us as American citizens. Our government has been disrespecting us for the last couple decades. Our country, our government has been like, if you are not a rich person, go fuck yourself. If you're not making this amount of money, you're going to get taxed out of your ass, because the rich people, the 1%, they're fighting tooth and nail just not to get taxed. Meanwhile, the average American is getting taxed on every sales tax, income tax, property tax, all these taxes just for it to go towards bullshit, just for it not to go towards our own community. It's insane. And going back to the second video, a tax strike is something we need to do, but in my opinion, we need a way bigger strike. Like, a tax strike is something definitely we need to do, but we need to get into a labor strike as well, because in my opinion, Americans generate so much money for this country. Like, the average American has to work. It's not that they want to work. We have to work just to survive, just so we can pay our bills, just so we can get food. We have to work. So with that being said, you have millions of Americans working, generating billions for these pussy ass companies. With that being said, we are the true power source of this country. We run this country. Some of the most backbone professions in this country: truck drivers, nurses, teachers. These are just some of the more, I don't want to say important, because all jobs are important, but these are some of the more vital jobs, and these are also some of the professions that are being exploited. So you got some of these hard working jobs that we need. We need truck drivers, we need teachers, we need nurses, we need all of these. They're being exploited, they're being overworked and underpaid. So we need change. Not every 4 years in November. We need change today. And I feel like most Americans could agree, right? We don't need change when we get another president. We don't need change when we get Republicans in office or Democrats in office. We need change today. Americans are dying today. Americans are being put on the streets today. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need, why? And this is, like I said in my last episode, the way change is enacted in America is extremely outdated. Why are you telling me we have to wait every 4 years, 2 to 4 years, just so we can get some change? It's outdated, America. We need change yesterday, because people are dying today. They're not dying every election year. They're dying today. Millions of Americans are homeless today. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're getting taxed heavily today. We have a corrupt government today. So we need change today. And the only way I could see us getting direct change is with a strike, a labor strike, a tax strike, when we hurt their pockets. Because like I said earlier, America is a business. If America is a business, their main priority is profit. So if we hurt their profit, that's when we get some change. It starts with a lot of these truckers. I honestly think it starts with truck drivers, because when you think about it, truck drivers really run this country. We can't get our food without them. We can't get our gas. We heavily rely on truck drivers. So you would think our government would compensate them fairly, right? No. Even truck drivers are being exploited. They're overworked, underpaid. They need to be some of the first people to be like, hey, we need to start coming together and have demands. We need to strike, because it's as simple as, I'm not going to work until you fix this shit. And that's really something all of America needs to do. It shouldn't just be construction workers. It shouldn't just be UPS drivers. You're seeing it today. There's a TikTok of Waffle House servers talking about, hey, this isn't cutting it.
Waffle House employees, do not be afraid. We are here. We are fighting. Our voices are going to spread nationwide. Get ready. We are ready.
We need need livable wages. These tips that we're living off of is not cutting it. We need livable wages. And when you see Waffle House workers and all of these other workers across the country coming out and saying, like UPS a couple months ago, they were like, hey, we need to be paid more. You're asking us to do this, and this with this pay, it's not it. When you realize that, hey, this job is asking for more, and this job, you realize that we have a labor problem in America. Not only does our job market fucking suck, the jobs fucking suck. The jobs aren't paying enough, and they're demanding the average American worker to do way too much. We need change. And honestly, we're gonna have, in my opinion, like there's gonna have to be a strike. We need like a tax strike, a labor strike. When we hurt these companies' pockets, that's when they can get a response. That's when we can probably get some change, because I'm telling you, the government and these companies, they think we're pussy. Like honestly, their whole take on it is Americans aren't gonna do shit because we're pussy. Like they think we pussy. Like it's going back to the whole saying, no taxation without representation. You can't expect these Americans to get taxed on everything. Again, we get taxed on everything. Sales tax, we get tax taken out of our paychecks. We have to pay property tax. This is so many taxes we have to do just for it to go towards bullshit. Well, you have a lot of Americans saying, fuck that. You ain't about to just take my tax dollars and take to Israel so they can have free healthcare, free education, and to bomb children. Absolutely not. We're not about to have. That's why you have Americans saying, I'm not paying taxes in 2024. And they shouldn't. You have Americans saying, I'm not paying any student loans. As they should. This country is treating us like we're pussy. They're really, like, how many times, like Americans, how much disrespect can we take? Our government is literally disrespecting us day in, day out. Literally. They're disrespecting the average American worker. And we need to say, hey, we're not going to take this anymore. We're going to stand for something. And I feel like the best way to do that is with strikes, a tax strike, a labor strike. Because when we start hurting their profit, like when we hurt these companies' bottom line, when we hurt America's bottom line, because America is a business, when we start hurting their profit, when we start saying, hey, I'm not paying taxes, that's when we start seeing shit change. Because the American can't fathom losing billions of dollars. They just can't. They will do anything to keep this functioning machine running, because it's profit based. We need profit. So when we hurt their profit, that's when we can get some change. And that's just how I look at it. With the whole tax strike and the labor strike, you don't need all of them. Like I said earlier, or in my last episode, to get all of America on one accord is damn near impossible. But it's not impossible to get a good percentage of America on the same page, because a lot of Americans are already on the same page. Hey, we're getting taxed too much. Our government fucking sucks. We need change. Those three things a lot of Americans can agree on. Now, when you start getting to the politics of it, liberal, Democrat, conservative, that's when you lose people, and that's when I lose. That's when you lose me, because when you realize this is not political, this is Americans suffering. This is an American issue. This is not a political issue. You'll have people try to make it seem like it's a political issue. They'll try to blame the Republicans. They'll try to blame the Democrats. When in reality, it's a government issue. It's both Democrats and Republicans. They're working together to oppress American people. We need to realize it's not a political thing. It's an American government thing. We need to start standing against it. We need to start coming together, organizing, and start having demands. We need to start having demands like, we're not going to be working in these conditions. We're not going to be taxed like this just so you can send it to countries who are currently exploiting and bombing people. We're just not going to have it. That's the energy Americans need to be on. We need to start demanding shit. We need to start going on strike. We're not going to work. We're going to hurt your pockets. We're not paying these taxes. And that's honestly the only way I can see change, like immediate change happen. Those are one of the options, in my opinion. And honestly, we're going to have to get to it, honestly, because this shit's it's ass. It's honestly ass. And I'm not going to stand for it. I'm happy to see a lot of other Americans not standing for it. I love it. It's beautiful to see. And it gives you like a glimpse of hope. Like, America's not going to stand for this. It's really beautiful. But yeah, I just had to get that off my chest. I had to rant about that because it's stupid to see our government act like this. And it's good to see like America start come to like options like, hey, we need to go on strike. This is beautiful. It's really beautiful. But yeah, I just want to talk about that off my chest. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. And yeah, just stay tuned to the next episode. And then peace.